Representative Johnson, great to have you on our show.
Hey, thank you.
You have introduced a bill to simplify the concealed carry law. A lot of people, I'm sure, would say to you, what you want to do, hey, it's long overdue.
And I agree. I would be one of those people. It's interesting. We're doing all kinds of things across America today to do exactly that, to simplify concealed carry, to make more clear legislation that makes it so that we can exercise our Second Amendment rights. But, when you stop and think about it, this is all backwards. We already have our Second Amendment rights. They've been taken from us, and it's like the shoe's on the wrong foot. And, we need to come to our senses and get our Second Amendment right reestablished so that when people think about this, they think more of the infringements and, and the value of their Second Amendment right rather than having to go through all this complex machinery and fight the battle every time to restore something that is already ours.
Yeah, so true. And again, the reason why you introduced this bill, I'm sure, but one of the things your bill deals with right off the top is this whole issue of reciprocity.
Yes.
Tell us about what your bill would do.
Well, right now the Ohio Attorney General has to individually enter into reciprocity agreements with all the other states that are interested in doing that. And it's a very cumbersome process. It's a very burdensome process. It costs a lot of money. It gets very confusing. And what we want to do is make it so that if some other state already has a reciprocity law on the books, then we can automatically enter into that with them, much like you do with a driver's license. Mm-hmm. When I travel to Georgia, I don't have to worry about, being a felon driving through Georgia just because I don't have a Georgia driver's license. Right now, I could travel all the way to Florida and pass through states that we've entered into these burdensome, individual reciprocity agreements with, except for Georgia. I can't get to Florida if I want to go on vacation, without going through Georgia. So this would make it so that if we have that on the books, then it's automatic, and we don't have to worry about it. But, our Attorney General can also continue to enter into individual agreements if another state doesn't have such a piece of legislation already.
Mm-hmm. And as you said, it causes all kinds of problems. People are traveling; they don't know if they're breaking the law or not.
Oh, it's just a mess. It's interesting. You look at the Second Amendment; it is so simple. Anybody can understand it, and they wrote it that way intentionally. And of all the things in the Constitution, they chose this one particular amendment, this one piece of the Constitution to say, and it shall not be infringed. Well, then they knew they needed to do that because it's such an important right, and they suspected that people would try to infringe it, and sure enough, it's been infringed thousands of times, and here we are messing with this, and we shouldn't even have to.
Well, and when I was reading through what your bill would do, I thought it was very interesting. You have to clarify the definition of a loaded gun.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine. Well, you must be hearing from people about the problems that's causing.
Oh, people worry about exercising their right and becoming an accidental felon. That's not what the founders intended. Right now, if in Ohio, if you go to a shooting match and you're on your way home and you forget to unload a magazine, that you would insert into your firearm when you're shooting in the match. If you forget to unload that, but it's detached, there are no bullets in the gun, but you have this loaded magazine in the car somewhere, then technically you have a loaded gun. Mm-hmm. That makes no sense. Common sense needs to prevail here. There is no reason why any rational person would consider a gun to be loaded if it's not, yet we have to fix this in legislation.
No, and you look at the fact that you have the national shooting matches out there at Camp Perry. You got people buying ammunition every day.
That's right.
I mean, as you said, simplify, it shouldn't be a problem to begin with.
It should not, but here we are. And so, this is a battle, and we need to win this battle, but the bigger war is to gain respect for our Second Amendment rights from our government and all those that want to infringe on it.
You're a freshman in the legislature, right?
I am.
You're introducing a gun bill. You're pretty gutsy because that's not easy to do. But, I mean, what drives you to do this?
Well, it's interesting. Before I became a physician, I was interested in history and political science. Absolutely loved the history of our nation and how we were founded, and studied that, and have great respect and reverence for what took place and the uniqueness of what it means to be an American. And, in the National Guard, I just retired after 21 years in the Guard. I traveled all over the world and saw how things are in other countries. And, my whole life experience in the 54 years that I've been on this earth has reinforced the love that I have for our Constitution and our American way of life. And so, being in the state legislature and having the ability to do something to restore our Second Amendment rights, I feel like it's my duty to do this, and I'll be doggone if I want to shy away from it.
Yeah, maybe you get to change some people's minds that need to be changed.
Yeah, and lots of times if you confront people with logic, they actually listen and they have respect for your opinions, and they turn their minds around. And so we're going to try to influence as many people as possible and help them understand that part of being an American is being able to keep and bear arms.
Mm-hmm. And I know you are one busy guy, so we can't thank you enough for what you're doing. You're also a doctor.
I am.
So yeah. you're really involved in a lot of, and I'm sure that speaking out on a lot of issues is so important to you.
Hey, yeah, there's a lot to do, and a lot of problems to address. And someone today said, "Hey, Doc, how you doing?" I said, "Hey, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I'm on this side of the dirt, and I'm an American. It's all gravy after that."